Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Max Kusmierek and I'm a venture partner at ZAS Ventures, where we help founders to scale their businesses. Um, as we are mostly oriented around the pre-seed stage, we would like to share some aspects and solutions that might help you at um, this part of your startup journey. And I would like to mention that we have the startup toolkit on our website, sdk.zas.ventures, and feel free to reach out to us at hello@zas.ventures. So keep in mind that according to the Steve Blank, a startup is a temporary organization designed to search for a repeatable and scalable business model. So if your model is not going to be repeatable and scalable, maybe the venture funding is not for you. But what are the most common mistakes that founders make at this pre-seed stage, where you are trying to find this repeatable and scalable business model? Is that they often have a belief that they have a great universal product when in fact it solves only a problem that founders encounter. Or they're looking for investors instead of spending time showing how to acquire the first paying customers. This is the best investment you can do yourself. But on this pre-seed stage, it's good to set up a framework that will help you to grow your business and to collect the data on a defined problem, analyze it, and draw conclusions and then test them. So in order to achieve this, it's important to have a framework that will help you to measure, build, and learn from that. To achieve this, it's important to define a clear problem that you're trying to solve. But it's like a lab, it's like an experiment that you are doing. So it's good to have a kind of a lab approach where you define your hypothesis regarding the persona, then create some experiment to verify it and measure the results and evaluate the findings. So when you come to us to discuss your startup investment opportunity, it's good that you will bring maybe a spreadsheet that you can share with us about what kind of experiments have you conducted, what kind of hypothesis you verified, and what were your findings. What did you learn? What is your learning curve regarding your startup experiment? What it could be called on this pre-seed stage. But to quote Ries, don't be in a rush to get big. Be in a rush to have a great product. At the same time, Reid Hoffman would advise you that if you are not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you've launched too late. So, how to approach this lab structure to define those hypotheses and verify them? So Dropbox was successful because they constantly tested their growth hypothesis. What is a growth hypothesis? It's essentially the assumptions that you make to find the best channel to distribute your product. So for example, you can use a spreadsheet that will include the hypothesis that you are validating. It could be regarding the for example, it could be regarding the ICP, ideal customer profile. So you define what kind of industry, geography, or revenue is related to that ICP. And then you can put an experiment to outreach to 50 targets and see how many meetings you can get. Or you can define a problem plus value hypothesis. Describe it, what kind of problems you are solving and what kind of value you might provide. And you can validate that on the interviews, but also, of course, on a sales measurement. So you can track the revenues, activation, and retention of the early stage version of your product, the MVP, because one of the most common mistakes that cause the death of a startup is the situation when no one wants the product. So as early as possible, reach out to your potential customers, how you define them by ICP. Check if they have this actual problem, and maybe how much does it cost for them on a daily basis, this problem that you are trying to solve. And this is how you can determine the value that you are providing. And the more of those kind of findings you have in a structured way, in experiments that have like a specific time frame that you can maybe test for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and you talk to the VC like us, the more credibility you can get, especially on those early stages. Those findings are part of your traction. And it's very important to develop a go-to-market strategy. I will just only show you the tip of the iceberg, how to approach it. But it's good to have like a structured document where you define your ICP. So ideal customer profile, maybe the more information you know about them, you can even get more detailed into specific personas, who is the buyer in this organization. If you research the competitors, what kind of values they provide, what is your defensibility against them, what kind of messaging they use, and then develop your own messaging that will include the value proposition. Set some targets in terms of outreach. How many people you would connect with on LinkedIn and reach out to them every week, for example. How many emails you would like to send out. How many YouTube videos explaining your approach you're gonna create every month. In terms of the inbound, how many page views of your website are you aiming to generate? And then measure the conversions, measure the retention of the users, and adapt. But the more kind of structured, documented way you have on your go-to-market approach, the higher chance there is that you will jump on the right track for your growth. And this is not something that we invented. There's a lot of knowledge regarding startups on the market. So the kind of main readings I can recommend to you is the book called Lean Startup by Ries, 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, and How to Build a Startup by Steve Blank, which is also an online course on Udacity, which I highly recommend. And to develop your startup ideas in some kind of framework, there are tools like Lean Canvas, Business Model Canvas, Value Proposition Canvas, Hypothesis Prioritization Canvas, which might be supportive in the development of your next unicorn. So feel free to reach out to us. We would be happy to support you, and keep in mind to take care of your mental health as a startup founders. Thank you.